Hello everyone, and this is a bit of a late trade video. This trade was made yesterday, um, like pretty much exactly 23 hours ago. Yeah, a lot of trades happened late that day. But Vladislav Gavrikov has been traded to the Los Angeles Kings along with Eunice Korpisalo in exchange for Jonathan Quick, a conditional first round pick in 2023, which is if the Kings do not qualify for the 2023 playoffs. The Blue Jackets will instead receive 2023 second round pick and a 2024 second round pick, and also a third round pick in 2024 from the LA Kings to the Blue Jackets. So, this is a trade in which the Los Angeles Kings get a decent defenseman, but he is actually not as good as most of the league really thinks. His skill set is definitely more defensive, yet hasn't actually been all that good defensively. Um, he's been better offensively, which is a bit weird because, like I said, his skill set is mostly defensive. But he is decent on the penalty kill, pretty good on the penalty kill, actually. He's been playing top pair minutes for the Blue Jackets, which isn't saying much, but it's something, I guess. Um, definitely not a shooter, better passer. Um, but you know, for the LA Kings, he's 26 years old, I think, or 27, one of those two. Um, and he's signed for 1 year, 2.8 million, 2.8 million, yeah. And I would expect that the Kings would extend him. He fits in kind of with their like time frame and like the age range that they have with a lot of their top players. And Gavrikov, he's gonna go to a team which is, I think, better off in the future for sure. And maybe he can grow with them. Like I said, he's not all that old just yet. The other move is Eunice Korpisalo. Now, Korpisalo over the last couple seasons has really not been that good, but this season he's definitely bounced back. Um, he's according to Money Puck, he's got 0.325 goals saved above expected, and that's pretty decent for a goaltender. Korpisalo himself is sorry, Korpisalo is not that old. He's another goalie that like fits in with the Kings' time frame. He's 28. Right now they have Phoenix Copley as probably their starting goaltender. But I think Korpisalo, now that he's here, he's taken that spot for sure. Copley hasn't been bad himself. If I can pull up his stats real quick, that's LA. There we go. LA Kings. He's also got a 0.072, so it's positive, which is solid. They thought Cal Peterson would be the guy, but he has really struggled this year, even more so than Quick, which we'll get to in a second. Um, but yeah, Korpisalo comes in. He's immediately the starting goaltender. Copley is still there as a backup, or they could run a tandem. Who we'll see. Um, but yeah, I think overall, I think LA came up pretty well with this. Though I do think that um, Gavrikov is a bit overrated, and maybe a first round pick wasn't enough, was too much for them. Uh, a bit too much, but with the condition, it does drop it down a bit. So we'll see what happens there. And as for the the Columbus Blue Jackets, they sold two of their top players, the most important players, and you get Jonathan Quick. That is a cap move. Obviously, that's going to hurt for Kings fans and the organization as a whole because he's one of their legends and rightly so. He bought them two Stanley Cups and he was he's been a mainstay for like what 18 years now or something like that. It's insane how long he's been there. So yeah, he'll probably retire. You're gonna see him most likely sign a 1-day contract so he can retire as a LA King. He might even get his number raised to the rafters the next couple of years. A lot of people were mad that they kind of did him wrong, and that's a maybe for me. I think that as a GM, you just got to make the move that fits what your team needs, and quick was needed to make the cap space work, and also, got to move off a goalie if you're bringing in a goalie. That's usually how it works, and that was just how it had to be. So it might hurt, but it's only half a season. He'll still retire a King, and yeah, he'll always be a Kings legend. Now, as for the picks, obviously that first round pick. Now let me pull up the NHL standings to see where the Kings are right now. I haven't actually been paying much attention to the West because they kind of suck. Right now, they are second place in the Pacific. I think they are. Yeah, there is some competition, but I do think that they at least have a wild card spot, for sure. Um, so yeah, if the Kings are probably gonna make the playoffs, so that does end up staying a first round pick. But if they do manage to like drop off the cliff, then that drops to 2 seconds, and uh, in that draft, having their what's it called, a lottery pick is definitely going to be nice. So having that a bit of what's the word, security on that pick is good for them. And the third round pick is just a bit of a sweetener. So overall, I don't think either team here came away all that bad. There's definitely a better trade that could have happened. So I'm gonna give like overall like B plus to both of these teams. Maybe Los Angeles comes away a bit better because I do think Korpisalo could be good for them, especially on his contract is 1.3 million. And that's for how many years? Oh my god, it's on cap friendly, and I still can't find how many years. That's insane. AAV 1.3 million. Length 1 year. Okay, so this is his last year. They're gonna have to re-sign him. They likely will re-sign him, and yeah, so it's maybe a B plus for the Kings and a B overall for the Jackets. That's in my opinion. This one is definitely a pretty even trade, and it could go both ways depending on how you see Gavrikov, especially because if you think he's better, then you might give the Kings an even higher grade. Anyways, trade deadline's coming up. There are still a couple names out there. The Leafs are definitely looking into some things. They obviously had the basically Engvall for Shen trade. There's still a top six forward to be brought in there, so you might watch that. Like I said before, watch Vancouver and Toronto. Something is gonna happen there. I can almost guarantee it. Even Bertuzzi with Detroit. And yeah, there's other moves that could be made, and there's still a couple days left to go. And it's been a crazy deadline week so far. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.